Hey guys, it's my turn. It has been a little bit of time since I put out a video. There are a lot of things going on right now, and they're all amazing in my life. I've been thinking a lot about work, life, where I'm going to live, what I'm doing, what this life's all about. As you can tell, if you watch this blog, you know that I'm asking all of these questions. So, today is Consumption Corner. I wanted to go through a very helpful book that's a recommendation of a friend of mine named Josh Carroll. And the book is called Iron John, a book about men. And it is a book by a fella named Robert Bly. I actually don't know too much about him. I know that he maybe is still living in Minnesota on a lake, if he's still alive. I think this book came out 15 or 20 years ago. He was already, an older guy at that point. But he wrote a book called Iron John, and this book basically takes the myth of Iron John, which, as I understand it, is sort of a European myth about a boy encountering this sort of hairy man beast, and sort of all of the things that happen from this meeting. And the boy is a royal son, and then goes on an adventure with Iron John and learns a lot and goes through trials and tribulations. And I just finished the book. I think the book is amazing. The reason why it's amazing, and the reason why I believe it's amazing, is that Robert Bly synthesizes psychology, culture, mythology. What else does he bring to the forefront? He poetry, art, everything from doing hard work, initiating from boyhood to manhood, and from girlhood to womanhood, and everything in between. And basically comes at all of this with this very synthesized approach that he has a very nice criticism for every type of person, right? For the aggressive man that hollers at girls in the streets and is macho and maybe grew up in gangs and maybe works now, but is still just very tough and aggressive and mean to people. He has a criticism for that guy. He's a criticism for a soft man that, it's not like this hits home at all, but a man that tries to find women that he can help and fix, and try to find people that remind him of his mother, or that remind him of that relationship, or remind him of the relationship between his father and his mother. He talks about fathers and mothers, and talks about the wounds from both and the desires of both. He talks about how cultures throughout all of history, across all the continents, have different initiation rites to becoming an adult, to becoming a man, and what that means and what that does, the philosophy of that. And it's incredible. It really touches on absolutely everything. And now, I guess I want to get right to the heart of it. In the United States, our culture is missing so much. We've extracted religion from most areas of our life, which, depending on where you're at with that, could be a great thing or a terrible thing. But the thing that we lose with that is we lose ritual. We lose this notion of there are certain things that we must do as we traverse through different life stages, as we move from boyhood to manhood, as we move from taking on no responsibility and just the responsibility of having fun and growing up, to being responsible for the world around us. And we don't really have any sort of initiation. We have high school and college, and they're just poor initiators into manhood. And I'm actually about to jump on a call with Josh right now. He's going to be leading a workshop on this book and the concepts inside of it. But I would give this book, I would say, somewhere between 4 to 4.5 out of 5 stars. So this is a high recommendation. I believe there is a female version of this book, The Woman Who Runs with the Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. I can put in the link below. But I think anyone that is of any gender should read this book. I will say my counselor said that some feminists are not too happy about this book, and I understand why. I think Robert Bly has a pretty first-generation view of gender and a first-generation view of masculine and feminine energy, and I don't discount that. In fact, I actually agree with a lot of the things he says. I would love to hear a third or fourth, if there is a fourth wave feminist critique of his writing, I would love to hear that. So if somebody's read this book and wants to say, yeah, here's why we've debunked his gender binary or what have you, that would be helpful for me. I would love to learn that. But I really do appreciate the way he thinks about these energies, and it's very much lined up with my experience knowing people who identify with their gender and who are cis, and just their experience in life and kind of how they grow up and what the expectations are of them and where they channel that energy and all of that. So highly recommend it. Iron John, a book about men by Robert Bly. Let's call it 4.25 stars or 4.5 stars out of 5. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. You should get the book, rent it. Check it out at your local library or order it on Amazon.com. I'm sure you could find a cheap version of it. And if you have any questions, give me a shout. It's my turn. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.